Remember when the multiverse was the most exciting concept in fiction? Infinite possibilities, alternate versions of your favorite heroes, timelines colliding, worlds ending. It had the potential to be Marvel's next big thing. But what did we get? Bureaucrats pruning timelines like office interns, cameos with zero consequences, and a villain who got beaten by ants. Marvel had the keys to a limitless narrative playground, and they turned it into paperwork and punchlines. Let's talk about how the multiverse could have been the next Infinity Saga if Marvel didn't fumble at every possible turn. Let's start with the main villain, Kang. This was supposed to be the next big villain, the next Thanos if you will. The next big threat that would unite the Avengers, shatter timelines and terrify the multiverse. But instead of an ominous presence looming in the background, Kang felt like a stand-in for a better villain that never showed up. Ant-Man 3 tried to hype up Kang as a conqueror, only to have him lose to a bunch of ants and Scott Lang's motivational speeches. And don't even get me started on the Council of Kangs, the most unintentionally hilarious scene that Marvel will put out in years that will be used in memes for a long time. Thanos was chilling even before he had dialogue. Kang, he's just confusing. A new variant every other Tuesday, each one more forgettable than the last one. The snap in Infinity War worked. Not just because it was dramatic, but because it was personal. We saw characters that we knew turn to dust. We watched Peter Parker's last moments with Iron Man, and that hurt. It wasn't just numbers on a screen, it was people we cared about. Compare that to what Loki shows us with the TVA timelines. Get pruned and it's just a blip on a monitor. Whole realities vanish with zero weight, no emotional connection. There's nothing personal, nothing human, just data flashing lights. And that's the problem. The multiverse concept is inherently detached, and Marvel never found a way to anchor it emotionally. Loki season 1, probably the most promising part of this whole saga. It introduced the TVA, showed us the sacred timeline, and teased that the big things were coming. But instead of expanding from there, Marvel hit the brakes. Season 2 tried to act deep with the spaghetti timelines and cosmic rewrites, but in the end it just gave us Loki sitting on a throne holding a bunch of green noodles together. It's a cool visual, sure, but does it mean anything? Ask yourself, what did it achieve? Where it's going? Nowhere. The TVA still exists, Kang is technically still a threat, and nothing feels resolved. Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. Now this should have been a game changer. Doctor Strange was supposed to explore the multiverse, dive deep into the wild new worlds. Instead we got 3 universes. One had paint and the other one had pizza balls. One had Illuminati cameos built for the trailers. Then Wanda, who was an ambiguous character in WandaVision, turns into a full-on monster because of her imaginary kids that don't exist. No exploration of moral dilemmas, no real consequences, just spectacle and conclusion. The multiverse became nothing more than a theme park attraction, flashy but empty for the most part. And here's the cardinal sin. When anything can happen, then nothing really matters. Marvel never laid out clear rules for how the multiverse works. The logic is inconsistent, and that means there are no stakes. If someone dies, just bring in their variant. If something breaks, just go to a different timeline where it's fixed. You can't care about consequences if the universe has a reset button built into it. Let's be real. The only multiverse project that actually worked was No Way Home. Why? Because it was personal. It had stakes. Peter Parker earned his pain. He lost Aunt May. He sacrificed his identity. The returning Spider-Man weren't just fan service. They contributed to the arc. It was nostalgia done right with emotional weight. It didn't try to juggle 50 timelines, it kept it small, focused and character driven. Phase 4 and 5 were supposed to build towards Kang Dynasty and Secret Wars, but we got half-baked ideas spread across too many shows. Every movie or series teased a bigger threat and then just dropped it. Multiverse of Madness didn't expand the multiverse. Quantumania introduced Kang, then undermined him instead. Loki ends without real resolution, and now Marvel seems to be quietly sweeping the entire multiverse idea under the rug. Jonathan Majors is gone for good. The Kang storyline is dead in the water. Marvel is panicking. And now all eyes are on Avengers Secret Wars and Avengers Doomsday. Rumors say they're bringing back old actors, reintroducing their familiar faces, and even throwing Tony Stark's Doctor Doom into the spotlight, which honestly might be one of the smarter things that Marvel has done in years, banking on nostalgia. Because Kang was never the guy, but Doom could be something. He's not just a multiversal threat, he's personal, ideological, terrifying. If Marvel can course correct and actually focus on tight stories, strong villains and emotional stakes, they might pull off something decent. Not another Infinity War, but maybe something closer to Endgame at the very least. The multiverse isn't the problem, Marvel's execution was the problem. Too much noise, too little substance. The concept still has power, but only if it serves the characters, not replace them. Until then, I'll be here, watching timelines unravel and hoping that one day, in one universe, Marvel actually gets it right. But then again, let me know your thoughts in the comments down below, and as always, it's time for a goodbye.